Hello and welcome again on the online lecture series of BTech second semester common to all branches. We are studying a subject called workshop technology, and right now we are studying welding, last section of this WT. In welding, in last three lectures we have discussed the basic uh, fundamentals of welding, what is welding, how the heat is created, and what are the different types of weldings, and what are the factors that are involved while doing welding, and what are the types of joints, etc. So we will be coming to this lecture and we will be discussing more about welding. So in welding, we have discussed earlier that welding is based on three elements. First is how the heat is produced, then second is pressure is applied, and third is if pressure not applied, then we have a filler metal. So we are coming to the arc welding. Different types of welding we have gone through, and this is today we'll be studying arc welding. Arc welding is done uh, in which the heat of coal cells, this is called heat of coal cells. That melting heat or heat of fusion, this is called Coalescence is heat of fusion or heat that is required to melt a metal is called coalescence. So, arc welding is the process in which the coalescence is achieved by an electric arc, between an electrode and the work by an electric arc. So, what is arc? We'll be discussing arc. So first of all, we must know arc welding. Arc welding is the welding in which the heat of coal cells or coal cells is achieved by electric arc. So electric arc could be between electrode and work or between electrode to electrode. So what is an arc? Arc is a flow of electrons that is used to create heat. Flow of electrons, and this is how we will be discussing how arc is generated. And arc is when we have a circuit along a workpiece. That means when we have current flow between workpiece and the electrodes, then the electrons are striking at a very high speed at the metal that we have to weld, and this is the cause that the electron striking the workpiece are trillions and trillions of electrons within microsecond, and they are colliding with the workpiece at a very high speed, and so they are creating a high energy or very high heat. So this is the arc, and this is the process of achieving pulses. So when these flow of electrons is colliding at electricity is flowing, so we have flow of electrons is colliding at the workpiece, so we are having a temperature zone of around 5500. So 5500 is very high temperature, about 10,000 degree Fahrenheit. So it can melt any metal, literally any metal, because rarely there is any metal that has melting temperature above 5500. Most of the metal have fall 3 to 3 between 3000 degrees centigrade. So every metal every metal can be melted through this arc welding process. So arc welding is the process that generates about 5500 degrees centigrade. Now most arc welding process add filler metal to increase volume and strength of the weld. So most, where we have TIG welding, tungsten inert gas welding, or GTAW, gas tungsten arc welding, that does not add filler metal. So we will be having filler metal in the arc welding. So these are the specialties of arc welding. Many arc welding processes that are that don't add filler metal, and they provide they are not needed to add filler metal since pressure is added to them. So for this we are having three basic features. One is coalescence, between electrode and workpiece or electrode and electrode, and then we have energy ranging from energy produced at a 5500 degrees centigrades, and then we have filler metals to increase volume and strength to the weld joint. So these are the basic features of arc welding. So what is an arc? I will discuss. An electric arc is a discharge of electric current across a gap in a circuit. An electric arc is a discharge or volley of electrons. I would call volley of electrons that is striking at the metal and that is creating heat. So it is sustained by an ionized column of gas plasma through which the current flows. It is sustained by an ionized column of gas plasma through which the current flows. We'll be discussing how to create arc because that is a very important topic and this is often asked and that is very critical question and that is very basic, requires basic knowledge. So what is an arc? Arc is a volley of electrons that is striking at a very high speed, so generating heat. To initiate the arc in arc welding process, electrode is brought into contact with the work and then quickly separated by a short distance. So what we do in order to create arc, first of all we have an electronic generator, an electronic source of current, electric source of current. So we take two poles, one is positive and another is negative. So we connect the negative with the electrode. So we connect the negative terminal of the power source to the DC power source to the electrode. When we have connected the electrode with the negative, this is called direct welding. This is called direct current. And the positive terminal is connected with the workpiece. The positive terminal is connected with the workpiece. So in order to initiate arc, what we do, we momentarily touch the electrode with the workpiece. We slightly touch, and as soon as when we touch, the current starts flowing through the metal and current, the circuit becomes complete. So when the circuit is complete, all electrons are activated and they start moving at a very high speed. In the meantime, what we do, we momentarily touch the electrode with the metal, completing the circuit. And as soon as the circuit is completed, within microsecond or 1 second, what we do, we take the electrode away from the metal. So what will happen? And we create a gap of 1 millimeter or 2 millimeter or 3 millimeter, a slight gap between the electrode and the metal. So what will happen? The electrons that are already activated are coming at a high speed and they would not bother about the gap between the electrode and the workpiece. What will do? They will jump the gap and reach the metal. Since they are highly activated, they what will do? They will attack, they will jump the gap and will strike at the metal. So this way the heat will be generated, a high heat will be generated on the order of 5,500 degrees centigrades. So this is the way to generate the arc. We have seen often in arc welding what the welder does. The welder momentarily touches the metal, and as soon as there is a circuit completion and the electrons start flowing, there's a current electricity in the circuit, the welder takes away the electrode and this way the electrons collide at the metal at a very high speed, generating pulses or creating heat of fusion for welding. So this is the way of generating arc. That is very important. You must be clear about that, and there are many other methods that are used for creating arc. We'll be discussing at a later stage how arc can be created by not separating the electrode from the metal piece. Another way we'll be discussing later on. So now we'll be discussing about electric arc welding. This is how arc is created, what is arc and how arc is created. We'll be understanding two basic types of electrodes. One is consumable and non-consumable. We have discussed already. Consumed during welding process. Source of filler metal is arc welding. So consumable electrodes, we have discussed that if there is pressure applied, we don't need any extra metal, and if we are not applying any pressure, then we need extra metal, and this extra metal may be by the electrode itself or an additional filler rod is provided. So consumable electrodes are source of filler metal in arc welding and consumed during welding process. So the filler metal is combined with the electrode, and electrode itself consumes and acts as a filler metal, and this way whole of the electrode is finished during the welding. So this is consumable electrode, and other are non-consumable. These could be electrodes that are not used, that don't melt themselves. So either a separate filler metal is added, or there is no need of filler metal since pressure is provided. That could be the case. So in case of non-consumable electrodes, we have two possibilities. One is either no filler metal is required. If pressure is applied, no filler metal is required, and if pressure is not applied, another filler rod is provided separately. So non-consumable electrodes are those who don't consume, and they are safe and intact at the end of the welding. Arc shielding, as we discussed earlier, that we have high possibility of metal combining with oxygen of the environment. So at high temperatures in our welding, metals are chemically reactive to oxygen, nitrogen and hydrogen there. So first of all, they combine with the oxygen, and there is a high risk of forming metal dioxide. So what we do, we protect the weld pool or the area where we are doing welding, incoming with the contact oxygen, incoming contact with the oxygen. So we are not combining the metal, we are not trying to save the metal from the molten metal from the environment. So what we do, we provide a shield. We have discussed two types of enveloping the whole space, one by gas and one by flux or uh, powders that we put on the welding pool so that it is not contaminated. So these are two types. So at high temperatures in our welding, metals are chemically reactive to oxygen, nitrogen, and hydrogen air. Mechanical properties of joint can be degraded by these reactions. To protect operations, arc must be shielded from surrounding air in the arc welding process. Arc shielding is accomplished by shielding gases, argon, helium, carbon dioxide, and flux. We have discussed earlier that it could be either envelope or volume of or cloud of inert gases like argon, helium, or carbon dioxide, or it could be covered by flux, that is powder of wooden powder or any other inert powder that does not react. So these are two types of shielding, shielding the metal from the shielding the metal from the environment. So this is called arc shielding. At high temperatures in arc shielding, metals are chemically reactive to oxygen, nitrogen, and hydrogen. Mechanical properties of joint can be degraded by these reactions. To protect operation, arc must be shielded from surrounding air in arc welding processes. And arc shielding is accomplished by shielding gases like argon, helium, carbon dioxide, etc. And flux also used. So this a flux we'll talk about. Flux is a substance that basically prevents formation of oxide and other contaminants in welding or dissolve them and facilitates removal. So flux are the materials that are used as protective cover. They protect atmosphere, they stabilize arc, and at the same time reduces spattering, etc. And also absorb unwanted elements and foreign materials with them, so that the joint is smooth and has high strength. Various flux application: pouring granular flux onto welding operation. Pouring, that means that literally that by one hand we have to pour a granular material a very uh, fine powder of small granules of small particles over the building, over the place where we have to build. So this is the manual way, this is the ancient way of protecting the build pool from the metal, from the environment. And then we have stick electric coated with flux material that melts during welding to cover operation. What we can do, another another method is that we apply a flux material on the electrode itself. So when the electrode is consumed, electrode is melted. That way, flux also melt and provides an envelope for the weld pool and does not let the molten metal come into the contact with the environment. Then tubular electrodes in which flux is contained in the core and released as electrode is consumed. Another way is that we have a granular flux or granular material like wooden saw and charcoal saw, etc., that are filled outside the electrode, and we have a shell over the electrode in which this metal is filled. And when we are doing welding, so before the electrode comes in contact with the metal, charcoal powder or solid flux starts coming out, and this way it forms a weld pool and it forms an envelope over the weld pool, and it does not let the weld pool come into the environmental contact, and this way it will be safeguard the molten metal from the environmental oxygen and hydrogen. So these are the ways of protecting the molten metal, protecting the weld pool from the environment, and this is the basic process of containing the basic process of separating the molten metal from the environment. Now, power source in our building, it could be both DC and AC both. We can use direct current and alternating current also can be used as power source for our building. So we have earlier discussed that electrode are coming into contact with the molten with the metal, and this way first they are touched with the molten metal and momentarily, and they are taken away. When the current is established, they are taken away, and this is within the fraction of second the current is established, and for a fraction of second we touch the electrode with the metal, and then we take out, and then electricity is starts flowing. And then what we do, we keep that electrode in that way at a distance of 1 millimeter or 2 millimeter or 3 millimeter from the metal, not more than 3 millimeter. 3 millimeter is the highest that we can achieve. So in fact, in 3 millimeter we will also losing many electrons, and the electrons will not be attacking, and so the heat will be less reduced. For ideal condition, it would be 1 to 1.5 millimeter. For high speed or for high temperature, about 55 degree temperature can be obtained by 1.5 millimeter. So this way we will be having producing direct current and alternating current as power source for producing R. So other features we will be discussing tomorrow in our next lecture. So for the time being, I am signing off. And still you have any problem regarding any conceptual clarification, or any basic or any working you are not getting, you may get in touch with me at my phone number. My phone number is 9069 360 400. For the time being, I am signing off. Okay, bye.